Something you learn when you travel a lot is that quality travel gear really does make a difference. There are certain items where it's absolutely worth spending a little more for peace of mind, but there's a fine line between gear that's truly high quality and stuff that's just overhyped and overpriced.
So in this video, we're breaking down exactly where it's worth spending your money and where you can save smart without sacrificing performance or comfort. Let's start with what is arguably one of the most important pieces of travel gear: your luggage. You'll never regret investing in quality luggage. And notice, I'm not saying luxury luggage or expensive luggage. Most people don't need Rimowa or Tumi. You just don't. But if you travel more than once or twice a year, you shouldn't just be using a $50 suitcase from Walmart. In my experience, you can do really well for $150 to $300, which gets you better materials, smoother wheels, and often a lifetime warranty.
A few recommendations. For hard-sided bags, Mono's is very hard to beat. We've used their carry-on for years now, took it to over 20 countries, and it's held up great. Bellroy just released a hard-sided bag that is a mind-blowing newcomer on the market and definitely worth checking out as well. If you're looking for something on the lower end price-wise, Level 8 makes some solid stuff. And for soft-sided bags, Travel Pro's where it's at. Travel Pro's Max Light 5 is my #1 recommended soft-side bag, and it's less than $150.
If you're more of a backpack person, look for something in the 35 to 45 liter range, made with durable materials and a design that doesn't scream hiker. The Air Travel Pack 3 is hands down the best all-around option. Great organization, great build, and super versatile. That said, you don't have to drop $250 to get a great bag. The Osprey 26+6 and TomTalk Navigator are both under $100, and honestly, most people could love their lives traveling with either one.
If you're spending your hard-earned money on quality luggage, the last thing you want is for it to get lost or stolen. It's totally worth the peace of mind to have a couple air tags to place in your luggage and or your backpack. That way you can monitor the location of your bags in transit. If you're an Android user, you can opt for a tile tracker, which will be compatible with your phone, versus an air tag, which will only work with iPhones. Either way, each will run you about $25, and it's well worth its cost. The alternative here is nothing, which you could look at as either $0 or whatever the cost of losing your bag is.
One thing you need while traveling but don't have to spend a ton of money on to get quality is cellular data. Your phone is essential, right, for navigation, messaging your Airbnb host, or sharing your adventures with friends back home. But without a plan, you're gonna pay out the wazoo for roaming fees. Now, you could go with your home carrier's international plan, but those are often outrageously pricey. You could buy a local SIM card, but that can be a time-consuming hassle. That's why we recommend and personally use eSIMs. eSIMs have the benefits of physical SIM cards, but you don't have to go anywhere, talk to anyone, or physically put anything into your phone. Our eSIM of choice is Olafly, which offers eSIMs in over 200 destinations worldwide with unlimited data and no roaming fees. A 10-day Europe plan with Olafly costs just $37 versus $100 with our home carrier. Unlimited data, no caps, and most importantly, no hidden fees. Setup takes just a couple of minutes. You download the Olafly app, choose your plan, install, and you're good to go. If you're ready to get started with Olafly, head to the link below and use the code AWAYTOGETHER for 5% off your eSIM purchase. Big thanks to Olafly for sponsoring today's video. So since your phone is basically mission control when you travel, a reliable power bank is a must. You don't need to spend a fortune, but this is also not the category that I would go ultra cheap. We've bought $10 power banks and they work, but reliability is sketch. So this is an area I recommend going with a trusted brand name, and there's several good options out there. One we tend to gravitate toward is Anker, which offers a good balance of price and reliability. If you like wireless charging, the Anker MagGo Slim is very solid. 10,000 milliamp hour capacity, very slim, no regrets, but it's $75. For me, wireless charging is simply about convenience. It's not the most efficient way to charge your device anyways. So being a generation or two behind isn't the end of the world. I like this Anker 622, which is a little weaker than the MagGo Slim, but it's now way cheaper than the latest models. Anchor's also got wired power banks starting at around 25 bucks, and they really run the gamut. Now, for the gear nerd or the ultralight traveler watching, check out the Nightcore NB10000 Gen 3. It's not that expensive. It retails for 65 bucks, but it is incredibly light, fast, and powerful. I even carried this thing in my pack during a 50K race in Mexico last month, and it's strong enough to charge my MacBook Pro.
If you're traveling internationally, you will more than likely need a travel adapter for charging your devices. And you've really got two main options. You could go with a single country plug adapter, which are cheap, simple, and work great if you're visiting just one region, like the EU or the UK. You can even buy them in multi-packs that cover several countries. The downside, if your trip spans multiple regions, you have to pack a bunch, or guess which ones you'll need ahead of time. My personal preference is a universal travel adapter. It's one device that works across 200 countries and adapts to different outlets with the slide of a switch. I've used the Epica universal adapter for years. It has 4 USB-A ports, 1 USB-C port, and an AC outlet, so you can charge up to 6 devices at once. It's compact, reliable, and still under $25. So while single country adapters might save you a few bucks initially, a universal adapter like the Epica is just one thing that works almost everywhere, and you only have to purchase one time. And that's worth it to me. We do recommend having a tech pouch to organize all your small electronics and chargers. That way everything is organized and easy to find. As much as we love our fancy tech pouches by brands like Air and Peak Design, you don't have to spend that much money to keep your tech organized. There are cheaper options on the market that are quality and do the job just the same. TomTalk has 2 great options in different sizes. You could also offer something cheaper like this BagSmart tech pouch.
Another organization item we're big fans of: compression packing cubes. But unlike some gear, this is a category where you really don't need to splurge. Paying $40 for a single cube is kind of wild when you can get a full set of 6 for the same price. Brands like Trip Travel Gear, BagSmart, and Epica all make great budget-friendly sets that are good enough and hold up well. And if you don't need 6, save even more by picking up a 2 or 4 pack instead. If you're in a pinch and you don't want to buy cubes at all, for years I used gallon-sized Ziploc bags to just pack my smaller clothing items into. Roll them up, squeeze the air out, and you're good to go.
One area you absolutely don't need to spend big on: toiletry containers. I know it sounds ridiculous to even say that, but there are brands out there selling refillable twist top containers for $70, even $100. Guys, that's just crazy. Simple, affordable versions on Amazon work just as well. Human Gear makes a set of stackable containers for around $13, or you can grab a set of silicone tubes on Amazon for under 10 bucks and call it a day.
Another don't spend all your money on this category is water bottles. We have seen these UV self-filter water bottles that are like $100, and they're not necessary. Get yourself just a standard refillable water bottle. We love our Owala water bottles, but you can get even cheaper sip spout options on Amazon. If you're headed to a place where water purity is a concern, your wallets are better off to use your standard water bottle plus a life straw to filter your water. Now, something you don't want to skimp on is your socks. Nothing will ruin a good time faster than blisters on your feet when you still have days and days left on your trip. Look, the truth is you're likely going to be walking more than you normally do at home, so you want your socks to be high quality. I highly recommend wool socks because they're moisture wicking and they alleviate the potential for blisters. Typically, wool socks are going to run you around 20 bucks a pair, so definitely an investment versus a bundle pack of Hanes or something that you could get at Walmart. But you only need a few pairs, they last a long time, and they're totally worth it.
An item that is expensive but we believe is totally worth the money is a good set of noise canceling headphones. Sure, you could just use the free airline earbuds or toss in your everyday Bluetooth ones, but if you fly often or just want to actually have a good experience, a good pair of noise canceling headphones is totally worth the investment. They block out engine noises, crying babies, chatty seatmates, you name it. Whether you're a frequent flyer or just a nervous one, they make a huge difference. We personally love these Sony noise canceling headphones. They've got insanely long battery life, quick charge, and they're super comfortable, even on long haul flights. They're not cheap, but this is one item we think earns its place in your bag every single time.
All right, what about after the long flight and you're trying to get back into the USA? If you're considering global entry, here's a quick reality check. It's great if your credit card covers the cost, but if you're paying out of pocket, it honestly might not be worth it. While it does get you expedited customs processing and includes TSA PreCheck, it's not always the fastest option. There's actually a free app called Mobile Passport Control, and in our experience, it's sometimes even faster than global entry, especially when there's a backlog at kiosks. So unless you're traveling internationally frequently, we'd recommend skipping the fee and just using the MPC app instead. It's a smart way to save money without sacrificing time. Now, this was our list of what's worth the splurge and where you can save. But honestly, not all travel gear deserves a spot in your bag. So before your next trip, check out our video on the most overhyped travel products you should absolutely not waste your money on. Thanks so much for watching. Happy travels.